Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal, the Nootropic Reviewer, and during this video I'm going to do a product review of 5-HTP, which is a nootropic supplement specifically for the purpose of improving your mood. You can consider 5-HTP to be like taking a supplement of happiness, because that's really what it does. It boosts serotonin, and serotonin being one of the most important neurotransmitters around mood, and it also has a very important role in regulating sleep and sleep quality and carbohydrate cravings, believe it or not. And if you look up 5-HTP on examine.com, the areas of research really are quite broad. We can see appetite, depression, sleep, stress, menopause, addiction, and panic. And so here's the deal. 5-HTP, there's no arguing that it really does work. Or for me anyway, my experience with 5-HTP was pretty positive in like the actual effects. Like you can ingest it, you do feel in the state where it is very difficult to think negatively. It's pretty interesting. It makes you present, makes you in a better mood, but it's not so much that it makes you in a better mood as it more so just helps you to stop thinking negatively. And that's the way it works when you boost your serotonin levels. So I did used to use it, but when you stop and think about it, it's almost like you're putting a band-aid on a problem, when I'm better off just learning good mental exercise that I can do to improve my mood, like meditate, or like go for a walk, or walk my dog, or do something that brings you more joy, because 5-HTP, it feels kind of fake that way, and so it's not like a good, consistent thing that you should have in your supplement stack. And what so is, even people who do consider using it and try using it for an extended period of time, I always see them get off it, because you don't want to rely on a supplement to improve your mood when you can improve your mood yourself, basically. But there are some people that still really do enjoy taking 5-HTP for improving their mood, and those may be people who perhaps they're getting off antidepressants, maybe they're going through a bad stage in their life and they need anything they can get naturally to improve their mood. Like here's a neat anecdote on Reddit, my experience with 5-HTP. They were very depressed in the winter. They started taking 5-HTP at 100 milligrams with each meal, 3 times daily. It's not too high of a dose compared to some other people, and the depression and stomach problems actually went away. And they were calmer, they felt good, they actually ended up getting off of 5-HTP, but then the bad mood actually hit them again. And then they further say, this is anecdotal, but they're relatively convinced that 5-HTP made a big difference. And then the problem was that people did convince this individual to get off of 5-HTP because of the reported side effects, which I really don't think are all that severe. Yes, it can be a little bit addicting because of its nature of improving your mood, but other than that, some people very, very rarely have heart issues that are escalated once they're using 5-HTP. More so what the problem is that you get to want to ingest more and more and more as a result of taking it. And over here, this individual reported that 5-HTP took away their fatigue, music sounds enjoyable, they appreciate their work, and no other nootropic does that. And then furthermore, people say that you can ingest 5-HTP instead of an antidepressant, which I totally disagree with. 5-HTP is not an antidepressant replacement by any means. 5-HTP is something to use maybe when you're coming off of antidepressants, or maybe if you just want a slight mood improvement, because antidepressants just, they do so much more. And if you are already taking an antidepressant, I do not recommend that you ingest it along with 5-HTP. 5-HTP boosts serotonin levels, but what antidepressants do in most cases is they help with the reuptake of the serotonin levels. So don't play with that. Of course, don't even follow my advice. Talk to a general practitioner regarding all this. And if you're somebody that maybe has like a questionably bad mood, perhaps you want something that will make you in a better mood at least for a few hours, that's where 5-HTP may be good, because even these scenarios, the individuals did use 5-HTP every few hours or so. It's not like they just took it once a day and then it worked its magic. So it doesn't really seem like a good long-term solution. And so there are many other supplements that do increase serotonin levels. There's things like turmeric, there's rhodiola rosea, there's ashwagandha. Great supplements. I've talked about ashwagandha in depth during this video over here, which is better around stress and fatigue. And because these do increase serotonin levels, I would be a bit mindful of your ingestion of 5-HTP, because you don't really want your serotonin levels to go that high, because there is something to be said about having a good balance of dopamine and serotonin levels. And so if you're boosting serotonin so significantly and you're not boosting your dopamine levels, then you can have a little bit of instability in your mood. This was an interesting study where what they did was they took depressed patients and they gave them both a mix of tryptophan and 5-HTP, and the other group of the patients were taking placebo. And what was interesting was that in the study, they clearly did notice some differences, but not enough. Over here, we can see, looking in the results, that the evidence does suggest that these substances are better than placebo at alleviating depression. However, because alternative antidepressants exist, which have been proven to be effective and safe, the clinical usefulness of 5-HTP and tryptophan is limited at present, meaning that antidepressants are going to be better, but we know that ingesting antidepressants, like I have in the past, do have a wide number of side effects, including weight gain, increased appetite, fatigue, hair loss, and much, much worse. Of course, listen to your general practitioner. And the other neat effect of 5-HTP is going to be around sleep. You'll find that 5-HTP has now been considered to be a common ingredient in a lot of nootropic blends out there that are designed to help people with sleep, helping them with not only staying asleep, but also waking up in a more rejuvenated, recharged state to go about their day. And I'm enjoying using 5-HTP for that use, not all the time, but typically when it is a day that I know I'm going to be getting a bit less sleep, or perhaps I'm a bit jet lagged, I typically like mixing a little bit of melatonin, just like 1 milligram of melatonin, along with 100 milligrams of 5-HTP about 1 hour before sleeping. And that can tell us something for certain. It's that 5-HTP is not stimulating for all individuals. You shouldn't be worried about taking this before bed. It will not make you physically energized like a stimulant or caffeine would. More so, you can expect a little bit of relaxation. It's definitely not a game changer. It's like one of the few supplements that you could put together in some sort of concoction and ingest that before sleeping with a slight benefit, nothing crazy. But here's what the data says. Well, this study effects of 5-HTP on the sleep of normal human subjects really didn't conclusively tell us whether or not this could be used in a practical sense for sleep quality, because what happened was REM sleep went up. However, the non-REM sleep actually did not go up. In fact, it decreased. So you can look at it like perhaps you maybe just got a little bit more REM in your sleep, which in most cases is going to be a good thing. Most individuals aren't getting enough REM sleep, and that's the most restorative form of sleep. But you also do need to have non-REM sleep as well. Like the study says here that the immediate precursor of serotonin was studied on 12 normal subjects, and in each subject, rapid eye movement sleep increased from 5 to 53% of placebo baseline. That's incredible. Let's talk about its use as a nootropic, because with 5-HTP, people may often expect that they get an improved memory, or they get better planning skills, better thinking skills, better judgment, and 5-HTP does not do that at all. If you're looking for a supplement to improve your memory or become a better student, then watch this video instead, where I've talked about nootropics you can take to actually feel some sort of better results with learning retention, with memory. 5-HTP, more so just around mood. It's still important though, guys, because of course emotions are such that they're up, they're down. We need some stability. We need to be in a better mood. So that's where 5-HTP can perhaps have a good purpose, but don't expect anything as far as like a mood promoter or something which is going to give you physical energy to take pre-workout. No, it does not do anything like that. And if you were to ask about the actual vendor, does it matter where you get it from? The answer is yes. I had the best results using 5-HTP using the brand called Now. They have it in, I believe, 100 milligram serving sizes, and that's a pretty high serving size in my opinion. If you're new to 5-HTP, then a good place to get started is by taking just 50 milligrams once a day. See how you like it. You can consider improving your dose, but I would never take more than 300 milligrams in one day or during a one-day period. I think that's way too much. You're going to be better off spacing it apart. You're going to get that mood benefit, and really there's no difference between taking 100 milligrams and 200 milligrams, not just from my experience, but from talking to so many people. You won't really notice much of a greater benefit from ingesting anymore. Otherwise, it doesn't matter too much whether you're in a fed state or a fast state when you ingest 5-HTP, but it really makes more sense to use it in a fasted state, because if you're eating a meal, more than likely it's going to have some carbohydrates. It's going to give you that serotonin increase that you want. And I really hope you did find this information helpful. What's your take on 5-HTP? Comment below. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed the video, of course, it really does support this channel by clicking the subscribe button as well as dropping a like. And if you'd like to chat with me one-on-one, you can do so over on Patreon, or you can send me a direct message on Instagram. And be sure to visit our Discord server, where we have a 24/7 chat room. We're having a lot of fun and answering questions in a time-sensitive fashion. I thank you for your interest in nootropics, and I look forward to seeing you all next time.